Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Well, good morning, Nick Collier here, and yeah, you're looking at this base and post and wondering what the hell is going to happen here. Well, I did everything. I filmed everything but the intro. You know, I don't know. I know I filmed it, but who knows where it's at. So anyhow, we're going to start over again, and I purchased this old 1980s Taiwanese drill press from down in the valley, and got it for a good price. But it had this short table model setup to it, and I want a floor model. So, you know, over a period of the last few years, I have been kind of gathering together pieces and parts to make a floor model piece. And this was the crowning glory of the whole project, because it had all of the mechanicals to it and the plate and everything else. So, hey, stick around. We're going to tear this thing apart, which of course we've already done, and put it together in a floor model version. All right, well, there's many things to do to this drill press, but the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this beat up old platform here. I'm going to take it off and show it to you. Somebody just macked the hell out of that. Plus, it wasn't all that great in the first place. So, we're going to get rid of that. And in order to do that, oh, and what are we going to replace it with? I got this really great faceplate from some lathe somewhere that I picked up, and we're going to adapt the faceplate to this drill press, and have this thing work out pretty well. It looks pretty good. Okay, so we're going to put this down for now. And the way we're going to adapt that plate is, this thing is a piece of shit. So we're going to cut this off right here. But you know, I'm looking inside of it and I'm seeing that it's hollow. Might be a problem. We're going to have to check and see what our size is. Let me go get a caliper. So all we're going to be able to do is eyeball this, because it's down inside that pocket there. But it's not too much bigger than about there. And how does that look with this? Well, there's still some meat there. I'd say about 1/4 inch on either side. So that's good. So we're going to put this on the lathe and just basically take this section off and see what we've got. It may not be what we want, but you know, this plate here is junk anyhow. So, well, as you can see, we're not far enough in there, and I want to get just a little bit further. So we're going to come in at an angle. Is that cast iron? Could it be cast steel? Probably not. Let's get a couple of rags underneath this. All right. All right, well, we bottomed out on the holder itself. So let's see, how can we do this? Okay. Slide that in a little further. And answer that phone. Yeah, I know the angles are wrong. Nothing's gonna go in there properly. It's, you know, breaking all of the rules, and I got to get this done. So we're just gonna push our way in there. Luckily, we have a tool steel bit rather than a carbide bit, so it has a tendency to be able to flex a little bit, and I think we're going to be able to get in there without too much trouble. So let's start her up again and see what we got. Let me make sure we're tight. It wasn't. All right. And we are going slow, so everything can kind of work its way in slowly. We're looking at that, and I'm seeing a couple of holes there, so I think we can just get the mallet, or maybe even just the brass hammer here, brass slammer. Poink! Pop that baby right off. And we have plenty of meat. Yeah, that's going to be good. All right, we'll throw that in the trash heap. Let's see how close. Whoa! I'd say a bit off. But that's how castings are. They're always a bit off. So what we're going to do is trim this down until we get it squared up, and then we'll take some measurements. That should do it. Okay, let's get some protection down. Okay, looks good. And we're going to travel a bit slow just because I don't want to throw these chips everywhere. Maybe not that slow. Yeah, somewhere in there. All right, let's get some of this dust off of here. Okay, first thing we have to do with this is find out how many threads per inch we're working with. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that it's possible. And I need a flashlight. All right, I got to get my cheater glasses. And that's it. So we are looking at 8 threads per inch. And the second thing we have to do is find out what our actual outside diameter is. And I think there was a step back here we could work from. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. So there's the step surface right there. And we are looking at 2 inches, 108 thousandths. Okay, so our diameter at this point, it looks like we're about a ½ an inch bigger. That's not going to be too small here, is it? Nope, it's under 2 inches. So we're at 2 inches, almost 500, 2 inches 460. So we've got 300 to take off. Let's just go ahead and do that. And you're asking what happened to the protection cloth. Well, I forgot it. So we'll put it in here, get a little bit more action going. There we go. So now we're down to 2320, and we want to go to 2108. to 107. Okay, we can live with that. All right, so now we got some pretty rough edges there. I'm going to come in and square up this surface. Now let's put some threads in that. That looks like it could do pretty well. So we'll come in with this and set it up. All right, we're going to set this at 30 degrees. No, 60 degrees. Bring this back. Square it up. Oops. You can't square it up. This bit is in the way. Yeah, sure we can. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to set the stage at 8 threads per inch. Okay, so at the, almost the last cut, my thread, and we're going to take you down there, my thread wheel, and on number, I think it's number 2, it somehow messed up, and I forgot about that, and I clicked it in, and it jumped it over a quarter of a turn. And so it set it up to cut a quarter of a turn off, which means, and we're going to come back to here, which means if you look close, these threads are just chewed to shit. And I've got too much time in this. And, you know, the reality of it is there's not a whole lot of pressure that's going to go on this. I'm just going to go with it like it is. And I've already put it on. You can kind of see the rust there up at the front. And it's nice and snug. It holds pretty well. I'm going to put a lot of Loctite on this and just crank it down. And let's call it a day. Because I don't want to do this over again. So we go with what we have. And lucky this is not for somebody else. Okay. Okay, instead of Loctite, which you know is a good product, but in this case we need to fill a few gaps in, and I'm thinking JB Weld is a lot better approach. So we're going to throw a bunch of JB Weld on this piece of wood. In fact, maybe even more. And it's cold as hell in here, so this stuff is moving really slow. Okay. Let's mix that up and see what we come up with. Put a little in our threads. Hell, that wasn't even enough to make it around the first time. All right, that ought to give us something. It's going in snug, that's for sure. I'm thinking I'll throw this back up on the lathe and use the lathe as something to hang on to it with. Let's hang on. Let's point back at the lathe here. All right, let's get this in place. Tighten it up. And snug her down. There it is. I don't think that's going anywhere. All right, let's take it over and try it on the drill press. Looks good. Oh, that's right. It hits that collar just a little bit. So looks like we have to make a just a bit of a spacer. Yeah. Well, that's no problem. We can do that. So what I want to do is come in and face off this whole front edge here, and then we'll make a spacer, and that'll be that for that. Now eventually we're gonna put this on the floor model and get this thing all set up. And the good thing about this, you know, it's Taiwanese, you know, but it's okay. It has a very low gears to it. I turned it on, but I can't plug it in just yet. So we're gonna play with this a little bit more on another day. And okay, it's not the next day, it's the same day. I don't know, got kind of excited about it. So we're gonna go to the next step, which is to put this thing on a floor jaw, because we really have to make sure that that we're square before we start trimming on this thing. A little bit off. We'll eventually get an indicator on this, but for now we can just do it from here. Well, actually we need to have an indicator in here, don't we? Okay, let's see if we can get in there far enough. Alright, we're going to do it after that. And it looks like it's taken just fine. Well, good morning. Nick Collier here, and we've got this old Taiwanese 1980s Rexon drill press that actually is pretty good unit. It's got a compound low on it. Let me crank it up. You can see this sucker runs very slow. It's noisy as hell, but it runs and it's good. And it's got beef. And it's got a light. Anyhow, the other day we went in and we adapted this faceplate and dropped it in here, and it works perfect. It's just what I wanted.